No?
Yeah, definitely. Although I think with the last result that Yokozuna and Pukas had beating Lukapo and Panda 2-0, they're definitely on form. But we'll have to see if they can keep that up against the Italians, who are, like you said, very established. So looks like the players are joining in here, and we are about to be underway with Shark and Tom against Pukas and Yokozuna. Best of 5, game 1.
It's going to be an
Let's
interesting...
get it started.
Let's get it started, indeed. It'll be interesting. I think Ilk and Pukas, they're going to be a good duo. I think they'll take a game, but Tom and Shark, obviously they're a different beast altogether, pudding.
Yeah, definitely. We've seen them get tested before. I remember the last 2v2 I casted. They were playing against Panda and Lukapo in what was quite a close series. So definitely don't want to rule anything out of happening in this tournament. But yeah, you're always going to have a favorite going into a game like this, and it would be the Italians. Bit of a slow start so far, but Tom's looking to take it up in the air on Yokozuna, who defends very well, leaving Pukas in a bit of a one-on-one situation with Shark. Shark is able to get the 50. Tom's on the low boost, and he might just give it to Yokozuna for the first goal of the series. I think that's the start you want if you are Elite's Most Hated, as Tom just can't really do a whole lot there. Maybe he could have been a bit more patient, but Yokozuna just saw it coming and puts his team in the lead.
It was good indeed by Elite's Most Hated, but you know, it's gonna be a long series. It's only 1 minute in. 2v2 though, it's a different mode than what we're kind of used to seeing. Many times you often see the players play in 3v3, but we, for anyone that hasn't picked up on the name here, we say Tom and Shark. Shark is going by, he has a different name on today, Cosmic Retro Gambler Comet 123. Don't know where that name's come from indeed, but he's a man on a mission with these demos right now, Tom is. But Yoko's able to get a crucial little touch there. And it's gonna be only time will tell. Because as this clock's ticking down I should say, Tom and Shark, they're gonna be under a bit more pressure, but 1 or 2 games I'm not too scared about for them, but the longer the series goes on, pudding, I think Tom and Shark, they're just going to have a bit more of that advantage.
Yeah, definitely. Although, we'll say, oh, there's the first goal. They came back very quickly. But I will say we have obviously seen upsets in these tournaments before with players like Tom and Shark on the team, where, for example, they lost to, wasn't it Lama Yokozuna himself and Winter. So the upset could always be on, and they get the goal off the kickoff with Pukas getting the demo on Tom off of the fake kickoff, and it's good that they're able to get their lead back so quickly.
Yeah, they got that lead back very quickly indeed, and it's interesting now because while they're all very high ranked players, we obviously say it's their favourites. Like, one team could be, but it's all about who plays better on the day, though. As we see a lot of pre-jumping, a lot of aerial play coming out. Pukas taking it to the skies. He gets the reset. Tom and Shark both commit, though. Yuk has no boost. Slightly fakes out Shark, though, and just teased up for Pukas. He gets it on target. Bar down. It's not in. But Pukas manages to finish it off. 3 goals to 1 in favour of Elite's Most Hated. And they are showing why they are the most hated in Elite right now, pudding.
Bit of an uncharacteristic bit of defense from Gedalians, I think, so far in this game. On that goal, obviously, you saw a bit of the double commit coming through on the back wall from Shark, and eventually leads to the goal. But Elite's Most Hated are capitalizing off it, and they might just get another one here. Shark can't quite get back off their respawn. Pukas puts Elite's Most Hated 4-1 ahead. Oh, this could be a scenario where you could say it might be too much, but we're only halfway through the game, so a bit too early yet. I do think Italians need to start taking their time a bit more on the ball and trying to find those open spaces. We know the mechs the Shark has, and Tom can definitely disrupt for him, but just not getting their way so far in this game. They can't seem to play how they want to play.
No, it's interesting that maybe they haven't come up against a team of this caliber yet. But it's a beautiful reset by Yokozuna. Oh my days. There definitely will be some chatter about these duo afterwards, but they are showing exactly why they are to be feared. 5-1 against Thompson and Shark. This is unprecedented, Pudding. I don't think we've ever had domination like this.
Yeah, they've just been so clinical so far. I mean, 5 goals from 7 shots compared to just the 1 in 7 shots from Godalion. So we're seeing so far who is the most clinical of the two, as this could very well just be another here if Yoxila can beat Tomster, and he does. 6-1 to the least most hated. It looks like Shark and Tom are just going to concede the match. They think it's over, and I think I'd have to agree with a 5-goal deficit.
They've just got next, Pudding.
Yeah, no, definitely not the way I saw the first game go in, that's for sure.
That is interesting. They've just got next. I don't know what to say
Yeah,
about
we're going to
that.
have to see a major reset here from Tom and Shark. 6-1 is quite a crazy scoreline. I'm not surprised they decided to just go next, but at the same time, bit of momentum could have been good for them if they could have even just got a few goals back and turned the tides a little bit and figured out Yoxila and Pukas. But no, they just want to go into the game too with that 1-0 scoreline against them.
That is just crazy. Is that a first in our history, as Bearsy says in the chat? But Tomster FF the match, him and Shark, I think they just said, I think they just want to get into this next game and try and turn it around, but no, they just couldn't bother themselves. But that means the Leeds Most Hated are 1 goal up. But more importantly, the winner of this does enter the grand final, but they have that very important 1-game advantage that will come as them coming from the upper bracket Pudding. So we're going to have to see here though as Yuck takes to the skies, but that's a crucial interception by Tomster.
Look how early Pukas is off Shark. He's not going to give him any room on the ball there, as Leeds Most Hated are looking to launch a counter-attack. Seems to be a bit of a boost problem so far in this game for Godalians. Saw in the last game quite a few times they were caught with pretty low boost, and we'll have to see if they can improve on that going forward, as it seems to be where the goals have came from. As that's going to be off the post and in, actually. I thought that was maybe going to bounce out, but Shark just about squeezes it in. So that really nice passing play just on the outlet to unleash Shark there, and they get the lead in this game. Maybe that is a sign of good things to come.
A sign of things to come indeed, but Godalians, Shark with the car change there, he's now in the Mustang. I'm only just after noticing that now. It's going to be interesting. We know these players, they're good enough. I think if they can keep the mental and really start hitting a bit of form, they'll have nothing to worry about. But we'll see here. Pukas can't get it. Tom with the air dribble. Pukas is kind of just drifting on the spot. Some would say poor defense, but Tom also took the opportunity, baited him in. Gets a little double off the crossbar there. 2 goals to the good for Godalians, and that's a bit more like what we were expecting, Pudding.
Yeah, it's a really good play from Tom. He just realizes that Pukas is awkward and just doesn't have the boost to really compete with him going up in the air, and he's able to just float it into the net. So, yeah, a lot smarter play from Godalians. The Shark, bit of an uncharacteristic miss there. Can Yoxila get back? He can't, and just like that, the tides have turned. It's looking like this is going to be a Godalians route compared to Elite's Most Hated route from last game, as Tomster rolls it in. He's now on for a hat-trick. As 3-0 lead with under 2 minutes. Plenty of time, like we were saying in the last game, to turn around a scoreline like this, but if we start to see 4, 5, 6 goals, then maybe not.
They've done it last game. I don't see why they couldn't do it again, but I think the Shark seems to be in a bit more form this game, Pudding, so I think, you know what, I think we'll blame the Octane. That's what we're going to do. The Mustang is just seeming like it's bringing out all of Shark's inner freestyler powers. Yuck, gets a good block there. Pukas, oh, the net was open, but the angle was a bit too tight. He couldn't find it. Tom, now on the counter-attack 1v1. 1v1, Yuck. Pukas bumps him, puts that target to his own teammate, and it's off the post there. Tom misses again off the post. What is happening? I've been shocked for words, but
I could see what Pukas was trying to do there, but God, that was close. I mean, almost felt disaster. I mean, that might have just been game over if that ball had gone in, and they luckily get away with it. But again, boost just seeming to be the problem here for Yuck, because he just passes it straight to Shark, and I don't know if Pukas was just waiting for him to maybe leave it for him to take, but just confusion and miscommunication, and Shark is there to punish, and looking like a long road back now for Elite's Most Hated.
a long road back indeed. But I'm more curious right now, looking at it. What are they gonna do? Like another, just another goal by Tom. When's the next goal happening? Pudding? Do we see it being called potentially?
We'll have to see. I mean, I think it's probably better for Pukas and Yuck to just play this out, but I mean, sometimes people just like to reset the mental and just go into the next game. However, 2 minutes left, plenty of time for consolation, if anything, as this is going to be 6-0. So we're seeing the complete opposite of game one here, as kickoff goes away. Shark completely eats that, and Shark's obviously there to finish off. Sorry, I thought it was him on a kickoff, but it wasn't, it was Tom. But yeah, I mean, not seeing a whole lot out of Elite's Most Hated that we were seeing in game one. The 50s not going quite their way like they were before, and obviously we're seeing Shark and Tom starting to play that bit smarter and play that bit more confident, which when they start to do is really hard to stop, D-Lynch.
It's very tough to stop, as in, like, they've just been absolutely unbelievable this game. 6 goals, like, it's absolutely mental. They were losing by this much last game, and all of a sudden they've just flipped it. They've just, the coin flip, turned, and instantly they are the ones just absolutely dominating. This is kind of what we were expecting from Tom and Shark, but now, Pukas and Magic, they'll have a few questions to ask themselves. What were they doing that was working in that game 1 that might have been not working now? What can they do to fix it for game 3? Because if the form continues like this for Tom and Shark, Pukas and Yuck, they're going to have a long, long night ahead of them.
Yeah, I think the problems we were seeing for Godalians in game 1 have been the problems we've been seeing for them, for Elite's Most Hated in this game. Is it's 7-0. I mean, this is just going to have to be going next, and it is. Saw that one coming. That's the final nail in the coffin in this game too. But yeah, I mean, I think it's just some miscommunication at times, lack of boost, and then really Godalians just stepping it up. Combination of that has led to such a dominant game 2 result as game 3. I mean, if game 1 told us anything, who knows what's going to happen in game 3? I mean, will Elite's Most Hated come out of the gate and start doing what they did in game 1, or will we see more of Godalian's dominance in this game 3? We'll just have to see, as Godalians win the kickoff. Shark gets bumped there by Yuck on the rotation out. It's one thing I was seeing quite a lot of in the first game, and a bit at the start of the second game, was Pukas was really abusing Shark, and it was working quite well for them, as Shark now looking to do that, abusing onto Yokozuna, as he makes it quite awkward. And Tom just pops the ball way too high. I don't think he meant that at all. As there goes Pukas, he's trying to get the demo on Shark, and he gets it. What did I say? That's what they need. Pukas, even with no boost, he just sees the opportunity. Tom's not able to quite get to Yokozuna, and it's 1-0 to Elite's Most Hated.
Elite's Most Hated. This is something, this series. That's just a coin flip after coin flip after coin flip. They absolutely started demolishing. Then Godalians started demolishing them in the next game, and now all of a sudden they seem to be back in the lead. This has to be a series for the history books with what's after happening, Pudding. I don't know. Everything's just too crazy. Oh, Tom's shot just isn't on target. Shark does manage to grab the boost. That's a good 50 there by Yokozuna. Pukas. Net's open for a second. Double commit from Godalians. Pukas 1v1 goes for the 50. He can't. Yuck takes it smartly back to his corner. He knows the attacker is pre-jumping. That's a bad touch though. It's all confused on defense, and Tom manages to score, equalizing.
Yeah, just that bump. The bump aggression there by Shark really puts the defender off, and just leads to that goal for Tom. Just a wide open shot, and we're back to an even game. But I'm liking what I'm seeing so far from Elite's Most Hated, but it's really that defense which is where we need to see them step up a bit more. Game 1 was going really well for them with the 50s, but seeming like Medallions are just playing that bit more smarter going forward now, and their defense is holding stronger and stronger as the time goes by here. Yuck passes the mid for Pukas, but he can't wrap around his can't quite wrap his car around it. Tom though on low boost is gonna be forced just to wait here. As Shark able to clear the danger for now, but Yuck can't get the shot on target. Pukas is so awkward with no boost. Yuck is just gonna have to chase back and hope, but Pukas gets an excellent 50 with no boost. Still chaos just going on here in the blue half as Tom clearing the ball for now, giving Pukas another chance on the ball, but just looking to clear it away.
Clear it away. That is true. But now, game is still tight, just over half the game to go. But Yuck, caught in an awkward position. He's doing well to control this in the air though, trying to bait Tom in. Tom doesn't fall for it though, gets the touch. That's a great touch by Pukas now. He's trying to convert this awkward touch of defense into attack. He gets the one reset, he gets the second, and it's off the crossbar for Pukas! The awkward touch of defense almost into the cross map double flip reset. That, honestly, would have been one of the best goals I've ever seen on this stream pudding. That was something else.
Yeah, that would have been unreal. I mean, just with no boost, he was able to get such a great reset on the second one, and just about saved off the line. But here comes Yuck. We're starting to see the mechanics really come out of Elite's Most Hated. Here's Pukas looking to go for the double, and he gets it, but Shark there to meet him. Medallions able to clear the danger, but Shark's just on no boost. He just can't do anything with the ball. Seems to be a common theme in this series, D-Lynch. Just not enough boost at times when it's needed. As Tom clatters the crossbar. Back and forth action here in this game 3. What an excellent shot by Pukas, but Tom somehow reads it. But Pukas is there with the demo on Tom, and it's a goal. Elite's Most Hated are 2-1 up. They've regained the lead. Just some excellent play. Despite an amazing defensive effort from Tomster, he's just not quite able to avoid the demo coming at him by Pukas. He's been such a nuisance in this series, and they've regained the lead again.
That was... Oh, I don't know. This series is confusing me too much, buddy. It's all action, but it's just 4 of the best 2v2 players. Not the best, but we have 4 of the top servers 2v2 players. But that's a good reset by Shark. He then goes low. Pukas, I think, or was it Pukas on his way back, couldn't get to it. Tall Shark will get another touch, falls for the fake, and the game is equalised right then again.
Really just a guessing game for Pukas there. He unfortunately guessed the Shark maybe just had a little bit more boost to take it into that corner, but unfortunately he just dives across the ball and doesn't quite get a touch, as we're back to an even game with 1:20 left. This is definitely not the story that happened in game 1 and game 2, but seems to be these couple of awkward 50s for Elite's Most Hated are going against him, as that one this time just goes straight into their net. And Medallions, with 1:15 seconds left, are able to finally get back ahead in this series.
I don't know this. This has just been something else. We've been seeing some phenomenal Rocket League. But Pukas, he gets absolutely bodied by Tom. Things were looking very ropey for Medallions for a minute there, but they've pulled it back. Pukas wasn't expecting the bump from Yuck there to make things so awkward, but Tom just comes and absolutely bodies him with a 50. 4 goals to 2. Medallions, they are really showing up right now, Pudding.
Yeah, certainly. I think it got a little bit too close for comfort for them there, so they've put their foot onto the gas. However, still 54 seconds left. I think if we are going to see... Oh, Sharks being done in. I respect the effort there from Pukas, but the defense is able to hold, as here he goes again. He's looking for that demo onto Tomster, and he's able to put him off. See, seems like every time that Pukas is going forward and looking for that bump or that demo, that Elite's Most Hated are able to get the goal, as Yuck though still has to get the height and the power on the flick to beat Tom from where he was. And 38 seconds left. Could we see it? Can we see our first overtime of the series? I think anything could happen here, so I'll not hold my breath. As Shark looking to buy some time for Tom to get on the ball. Tom trying to get a 50, almost gets it. As Pukas just doesn't have the boost to really make a play here. He's going to have to try and get a beat. As he doesn't, Yuck again, just awkward, not able to take a touch. Medallions are really effectively just ticking the time off the clock here, and that's all they have to do. They have the lead, and there's only 5 seconds left. Pukas has to make something happen here as he gets a good 50. Yoxzilla underneath it, but he's not going to be able to get on it, but it stays up. Can we see a miracle here from Elite's Most Hated? It's not looking likely as Pukas just doesn't have the boost, but Shark opted to keep it up actually. I don't know if he actually meant that, but Yoxzilla misses, and that's going to be the game. 2-1 to Medallions, and they're on match point.
Match point. Oh my days. This has been some series. Absolutely phenomenal. But we do have some breaking news from what's after happening in the bracket pudding.
Oh.
Baby Oil My Panda of Eddie and Panda have beat the team that is called Beat Rio Ringa Shark in upper finals 2.3k. Llama and Little Dude are out. They have lost Eddie and Panda.
That is a shock. I would have had them going quite deep into this tournament, but what a result for Eddie and Panda. Now we'll have to see if they can follow that up now. I believe they play ball game next. Would that be correct?
They would play ball game next. I'll have to be going back and looking at that series. I'll have to see. Were Eddie and Panda just that much better? Were Llama and Little Dude a bit undercooking themselves? I don't know. But either way, pudding, that is going to be spicy. As we are
not good for their land seeding. I must say that. Would have had them maybe as one of the favourites going into the upcoming land, but might have to rethink things after such a great result from Eddie and Panda, as Yuck is going for that bump on Shark. I'm telling you, Dave, it seems to be these bump plays, these aggressive demo chases that are really working out for Elite's Most Hated, and if they can just solidify the defense, then they might have a chance of getting back in this, but we haven't seen much great defense from them in the last 2 games, so we'll just have to wait and see if they can turn that around as Tom tries to go for a pass to Shark there. He's maybe not quite ready for it, as it's a really great touch from Tom there, but no boost to follow it up.
1 goal to the good. Elite Most Hated. They need to win this game. If they don't, they're knocked down into the lower bracket. They still have a second life no matter which team wins this, but we've seen here, they're both excellent 1v1 players, they're both phenomenal 2v2 players, but for Elite's Most Hated, as you said, it's those bump plays, those demos, just anything to make Shark and Tomster as awkward as possible is really what is going to help them now. But Yuck doesn't have enough boost. Pukas trying to play it safe, but Shark giving him absolutely 0 time and space. Him and Tomster, they are both just going. But that opportunity there is now gone, pudding.
Yeah, certainly. But, I mean, it just came back, so that's wide open. That's about to go on to talk about their attack, but the Red Sea parted there as Pukas just has to avoid Tom's demo, but flips the way. That leaves the net wide open for Shark, and we're back to an even scoreline. I mean, I'm liking these close games a bit more than the game 1 and game for sure. A lot more entertaining, and really not see who's got the advantage, but Medallions are looking to solidify themselves here as they are able to seal a second goal in. I'm a bit confused as to what happened. I think, yes, Yoxzilla just hasn't got the boost to really get down and properly 50 that with Tom, who just slides it under him, and Medallions have regained their lead.
2 goals to 1. 3 minutes and 33 seconds left on this clock, but we're going to have to see. Tomster trying to make things as awkward and possible on his own defense, though. Shark plays the back flip. He's looking for 50. He's trying to bait in Yuk. Gets a good 50 now. Ball is high up in the air. Both sides low on boost. Yukzula tried to make something happen. Pukas gets called out, and Tomster just dives him. The net is wide open. 3 goals to 1. Gadalians, are they starting to run away with this pudding?
It certainly looks so. I mean, it just feels like Elite's Most Hated just can't get it sorted in their own half. They're getting sloppy with their touches, and the 50s they're just not going their way. And I mean, that's all credit to Gadalians. They've really just shifted that in their momentum. Their pressures just seem to be too much for Elite's Most Hated, but we do know that they can get the goals, so maybe if they can just keep up with the amount that Gadalians are scoring on them, then there's a chance. But I just think the defense is where they really need to lock in here. They've got so much creativity on attack, and so do Gadalians, so I think this is really a defensive battle to see who can stop the other team from scoring.
It is. Obviously you need goals to win the game, which Elite's Most Hated they do need right now, but defense is what ultimately. It doesn't matter if you score 10 goals if you concede 11, as one of the most obvious statements there is. But Pukas and Magic, while they have been Pukas and Magic, Pukas and Yuk, I'm thinking of land teams right there. Putting either way though, they have been good on offense, but defensively they have left things to be desired a bit. But now Yuk fakes going for it, but now he's left his teammate Pukas in a 1v1 with low boost against Shark. But that's a good dive by Pukas. Tomster has a bit of time and space, taking up his back wall. Smartly controlled by Tomster. He gets the long shot though. Will Yuk be back? I don't know if he will. He gets it off the post, but Shark is right there. 4 goals to 2. And that was some play, Pudding.
Tom just completely threaded the needle, and he almost got rewarded for it, but it was enough as Yuk just forced to make that last-ditch effort to keep it out, and Shark was there to clean up from the touch off the post. But it's not looking good here for Elite's Most Hated. Gadalians are just that bit more clinical, that bit more impressive going forward, and they're able to hold off Elite's Most Hated for the most part when it matters. But we've got 1 minute and 40 seconds left. Enough time to get some more goals as Pukas is trying to get that demo again. Almost worth a Shark. It's an unreal save that actually just clears the danger completely by bouncing up off the post. As Pukas is looking to just eliminate one person from the game, as he does. And Pukas does it again. Just such a nuisance on the goal line for Tomster and Shark. Gets a perfect 50 that goes right to Yukzula, and thought Yukzula almost messed it up there with that cut in. I think he was maybe expecting to have to dribble that, but Pukas does all the work for him and lays out the red carpet, and the ball is just rolled into the Gadalians net as freely as you like, and just the 1 goal in it. Yuk might have a chance, but he just doesn't have the boost to wrap around it off the kickoff. And here come Gadalians again.
I can see absolutely, Buddy, why they are called Elite's Most Hated. I can see what they're doing to Tom and Shark. They are doing everything possible to make things really awkward, but the net's just open there. Shark does he have a boost?
Oh, Shark.
Pukas gets back. That was the most open net I've ever seen. Shark, he maybe trolled it slightly, but I suppose he didn't have that much boost. Oh, that's a bad dive. Shark, now's the time, now's the boost. He's gonna go for the breezy, and it's in the top corner. I thought I was hitting the crossbar. 2 goals. It's not outside the realm of possibilities, Pudding, but things are looking ever more grim for Elite's Most Hated right now.
Yeah, Tomster finally giving it back to Yuk and Pukas with the demo chase and play, just leading the way for Shark to get. I mean, what still wasn't an easy shot. He went for a breezy, but he managed to get it. And looking like a long way back, like you were saying, we're going to need 2 goals if Elite's Most Hated want to even have a chance at potentially taking this to game 5. But the Gadalians have been impressive, and Yukzula, he's trying to get it, and he almost gets the double off of the flip reset. That could have been the spark they needed to ignite the comeback, but just that bounce off the crossbar is just cruel, and time is just working against them. I just don't think they have enough time unless the ball goes in right now, and Shark is just so calm on the ball and just plays the time, and that is going to be it. Gadalians take the series 3-1, but by no means was that easy, except for the one game where they won about 7-0, but still, all in all, an impressive performance as they're able to get it together and shut out Elite's Most Hated and advance to the grand finals.
That is well done, Gadalians. Go straight through the grand finals with that advantage. Elite's Most Hated, they will be, as I said, they'll be up there. They'll be up there. They're in the lower final. They have to take on whoever they might face. But we're gonna go a quick break, pudding, and I suppose we'll be back later. Probably for the lower final. Might jump in a small bit early. We'll see, but we'll definitely be back at least for the lower final. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are back for the lower final of the LTXAcademy 2v2 tournament, sponsored by our lovely own LTX Sam and his LTXAcademy coaching, where you might, with a bit of help from him, you might be able to get a bit higher than D tier on Enron's championship tier list, as usual. But I think we're ready to go, as I am here, and I'm joined by everyone's favourite cast in the community. No one knows Nova. How you doing, man?
Be a bit better. Obviously today not going the way me and Techie wanted, but you know, gives me a good chance to obviously cast some high-level Rocket League. And look, it's been a great day for the scene in general. Lots of upsets, lots of back and forths, and good to be back on the desk, Dave. We've got a big game ahead of us here. Elite Most Hated of Pukas and Yuxula versus Yem and Keen, Dog with a Log. Could go either way, this one. It's so tough to predict how today has gone, Dave, isn't it?
You know what, Nova? You're absolutely right. Because Dog with a Log right now are public enemy number 1. And they're my enemy right now. As much as I love Yem, and Keen is also a very good player, they did just take down a team in top 4 by the name of... First of all, what a goal by Pukas. Oh my god. Air dribble to reset. But more importantly, Dog with a Log, they beat Baby Oil My Panda. Or whatever the team name is. Panda and Eddie. Top 4 at this tournament. Seeded 9th, Nova. They beat yourselves. They beat Llama Little Dude. They beat Redport Dunusher. I believe, yes. But they also beat Panda and Lucabo. And this is the 5-time LAN winner, Panda. We're on about, Nova. This is just something else.
Yeah, it's a very, very impressive run from them. And one to keep an eye on when it does come to LAN next weekend. LAN is always a different beast, obviously, but that doesn't make their run any less impressive. So here's to hoping that they can keep it up going into next weekend. But right now we have, a couple of players won't be here next weekend, but obviously showing us just what Irish Rocket League is capable of. So that's a great dunk from Pukas. Doesn't quite go the way he wants, so yeah, I'm going to try and take it forward. The bump coming out, Kean maybe could have shot it instead, opts to get the boost. Try and just play this controlling game right now, enclose and trap their opponents into their own half. But right now I don't think that's going to come about unless Yem can make some magic happen here. Beats one, can he beat Pukas as well? No, and they're already Elite Most Hated back with boost in the tank, controlling the ball. And this is just why they're in this position. Very impressive from Pukas and Yuxula so far, it has to be said.
They are just too impressive themselves, Nova. Like, it's impressive. Because then again, doubling the lead there, Yem and Kian holding out well. They're showing something different. Different kind of play style, different finesse to them than most other teams we've seen. But Pukas, I'm not going to say magic this time, Pukas and Yuxula, we saw what they could do. They may have lost 3-1 in that upper final, but they had Tom and the Shark on the ropes a lot. At times, they were looking nearly unplayable. They made Tom and Shark in game 1 go next, Nova. It was that bad. It was 6 or 7-1 or something ridiculous like that. As they are 3 goals to the good. This is absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah. The same might be happening again this game. Now, you have to be honest, that's the first big mistake we've probably seen this match. Kian doesn't get quite the clearance they would have wanted to, just puts it right back into the path of Yuxula, but at the end of the day, sometimes they just force those errors. They're that good of a team that they're going to dominate. Can Kian get one back here? No, Puka's just diving to the rescue. Really good game from him so far, and still another 2 minutes to go. You'd like to think this 3-0 lead will only get larger, but Keaton trying to sneak that one in. Yuxula just comes out of nowhere. So easy for him. Can Dog with a Log score it all right now is the real question.
Who knows, Nova? It's just absolutely phenomenal. Like, after watching that upper final, we knew that this was how it was going to be, but that's a good 50 there by Yuxula. It's going to be very awkward here for Kian, but Yem find a good outlet pass there. Puka's going for the sidewall redirect, but can only hit it up into the kind of upper echelons of the back wall. Again, not the best here from Yem, just aims it downfield, but Kian is able to get on the end of it. He isn't just aimlessly passing it away. That's good though. Going for the pogo shot. Oh my. This is why we love watching them. They are just such an entertaining team. They're both so good at ones, though, but then, especially with Pukas on the field, anything's possible. You don't know what's going to happen.
Absolutely. They exude confidence with the way they're playing right now. And it's a shame. But we will have Pukas there on land. It's a shame we won't also have Yuxula by his side. That said, you know, Magic almost as good. So here comes Pukas again, just trying to air dribble it over. He's forcing 2 players to commit, and that's just how good of a player he is. That both players on the team, they're feeling threatened. They feel like they both have to commit, because he's just that dominant with his air game, with his ground game, every single aspect. They've given away some shots, but even when they give away a half chance, they're there to defend it perfectly. And that's what's separating the two sides right now. That said, it's only game 1. And it doesn't matter how much you score in one game, because you still have another 2 to win after this one. A best of 5, if I'm not mistaken. So here comes Pukas. Does he want to add one to the tally? Can't quite, but was a tight angle to be fair to them. And look, already 1-0 to Elite Most Hated, just like that.
You are correct. You are correct. To be fair, it is only a best of 5, and we saw they were 6-1 goals up or whatever. And then they went on to lose the rest of the series. But it's going to be very interesting to see what happens with the rest of this, because I'm wondering, do Yuk and Pukas realise, how seriously are they taking this, or are they just trying to get through this with as little effort as possible and just save all their focus, all their energy for what's been a long day of Rocket League already, so that they can end up beating, or at least try to, Gidalians. They have been the RLI final boss for the last while, Nova. Tomster and Shark playing in almost everything together. We'll just have to wait and find out. Are they going to be the ultimate final bosses, or can they be upset?
We've seen the David and Goliath situation before in the last Threes tournament. Was there a bit of lagging going on for Shark? Yes. So it does ruin the story just a bit. But if there's ever time to do it, it will be in this next series if Pukas and Yuxula can progress and plainly impressive in their game 1. But they do need to stay focused. It's not over and done with when you're playing against Yem nor Kian. That's at Pukas. Trying to go for something incredible there, and a nothing angle, and almost coming away with something very impressive from him once more. It feels like we're singing his praises every single time he's on the ball right now, Dev.
You know what? He's acting like this is free play. I don't think he's even noticing the opponents. It looks like he's just trying to go with every freely mechanical shot he can think of at any moment in time. Oh, that is beautiful from Yen. Oh my, the fake reset. Pop off the ground. Continues air dribbling it. Yuck. Might have to think about a potential demo from Kian, but Kian pulls out. This causes Yuck to stop just enough. Dog with a log. 1 goal to the good, Nova. That is the start they exactly needed.
just what they were looking for, and it's very good from Key, and it must be said. And that is not good from Pukas, but he gets away with it. Not the start they would have wanted. The pressure has just been against them the last 30 seconds or so. They're lucky to not see themselves 2-0 down. That said, can they turn this game on their head? A good shot from Pukas, but Kean just right there to save it away. And that one, Pukas, he needs to beat Yem. Yem doesn't even commit for it, forcing a double commit once more on what seemed like a pretty easy save right now. Even when they're goal up, it does look quite shaky from Dogwitterlog right now. But 3.5 minutes, they are going to have to try and calm it down if they want to hold on.
They will need to calm down, but it may have looked awkward here, but Kian had full control in the corner. He had no boost, but he patiently waited, patiently didn't do anything, just baited in the opponent. Oh, that's good though from Kian right there. Tries to get it past Pukas, but Yuk, after Pukas being bumped, Yukzula gets one reset, continues the air dribble. Can he find the double? But no, Kian is there in defense, but it's rolling on target. Yeah, getting insta-dived, but they do have time and space. Uxula taking his time, just letting Pukas cause havoc, as he has been all series and in that upper final. It seems to be a common threat. Let Yuk do anything he wants on the ball. Try and score. Pukas, just go and make sure the opponents aren't on the pitch. But they can't defend the ball if they're not in the net, Nova.
Yeah, that's a solid game plan. Works for most teams. And what's worked for Yuxula instead is just, take it up the ceiling and put it into the net. Sees the opponents are on low boost, gets a little bit of a reset, pops a pass, yeah, there's not much you can do in zero boost. And that's just how the domination goes. You keep on putting pressure on them time and time again. Eventually they're going to run out of all resources. And half the game is gone. Will this one turn into what last game did? Just some domination for Elite Most Hated. Well, hard to say just now, Dave.
Hard to say indeed, but one goal apiece. As we've seen earlier, a second one there, but no, Yem can do it! We thought Kian couldn't get the double off the crossbar. Yuxula, I should say. Couldn't get the good 50. Not a great 50 from Pukas. He couldn't have much to do, but Yem quicker on the recovery, on the follow-up. 2 goals is good. Dog with a log. They're making things very interesting, Nova.
Yeah, it's been much better from them. And I also have to point out, I guess, Elite Most Hated starting to show a bit of holes in their defense. Like you mentioned, 2 poor 50s leads to them conceding, but the demo game, oh, that's such a good beat, it's such a good demo, that's just open for Yuxula, and he does not miss those, Dave. Back to 2-2.
Oh my, this... you know what? That's just simple. 2's gameplay right there. Yuk beats 1, the other's demoed. Can't get back in time. Easy as you like for Elite's Most Hated. We saw earlier in the last series, we're kind of seeing it a bit now, Nova. Yuk with a good goal there off kickoff. With all these demos coming out from Pukas and them just being overly annoying, you could probably see why they're Elite's Most Hated right now, Nova.
Yeah, they're starting to ramp it up just a bit. And that's the difference maker this game. Just turning it on a dime. 1 second they're 2 goals down. Next second, look, goal up. And pulling out this fake kickoffs and all, messing with their opponent's heads. Yem has to get something on this because his teammate was pushed very high upfield. Works out in the end. Yuxula now trying to bring it downfield. Kean wants to just take it back to his corner. Realizing the boost game not really on their side, but he pushes up anyways. Yem has to get a good touch. Where's Kean now? Not up quick enough, and that one just bounces in off the post, doubling their lead. 4-2 up, and this is just the same story time and time again. Good pressure, maybe a bit of an overcommit this time from Dogwitterlog, specifically with Kean. And look, 90 seconds. They're able to hold on just fine last time. Can they hold on this time?
Can they hold on? Only time will tell. But that's a good jump off the... What? I'm struggling to get out my words, Nova. Am I seeing this correct? Kian gets the dunk on Pukas. Hits out the crossbar. Oh, right, that is Yuxula. He own gold.
He has all the time in the world to do whatever. Okay, Screamy got bumped. I didn't see that.
You know what? We didn't see it. It means it didn't happen, Nova. We're going to pretend he just own gold anyway.
Yeah, you know what, an own goal. Slots it in. I could not have better precision myself. But look, there's still a goal up and a minute to go. But Yokozuna still cheating high in that corner on 0 boost. Not something you usually want to be doing. These players tend to have the calculated plays, however. Pukas launching down the line, Keen by his own for a bit, and that's not a great boom either, just forfeiting possession, but Yokozuna again not getting the touch he wants. Not that it matters, to be fair to him. Again, goal up, they don't have to worry about it whatsoever. Here comes Keane now, playing it a bit slow. Where's the follow-up? Pukas is on 0 boost, very high up the pitch. Can this one be pinched center by Keane? Gets it across the Yem, and he skied it. But a bump coming out. Oh, 2 bumps coming out. That's great from Yem. That's great from Keane. Managing to pull it back once again, and really, Dave, you could not ask for a better game right now.
Honestly, we can't. 4 goals apiece. These two teams, both in the top 3. Unless your name is Topster and Shark and they're just so much better than everyone else, it seems like the two teams which have just gone for full demo strategies. Just literally sending one player going chasing after the other two and letting players 1v2. You haven't done that well. That's what it seems like so far, Nova.
Yeah,
oh!
But at the end of the day, Pukas, he does it better. Keane, not a great 50, leaves his teammate in a 1v2, and Pukas doesn't care. He's set to 1v2, I don't care, I'm going myself, mate. And does it perfectly, gets it high enough, gets the bump. And 10 seconds now, can Dog with a Log pull something out? Pukas doesn't get a great touch on the kickoff, but that doesn't matter because Yokozula's just in possession. And he's going to waste all the time on his backboard here, gets the flip reset, gets a second flip. Oh, he just wants to score, actually. He won't come away with it. The least most hated are on series point. 2 games to the good here. Only need 1 more, and look, you have to say, much more impressive from Dog with a Log this game compared to last game. Definitely kept it much closer, but all the same, not close enough when you have Yokozuna on the pitch. 4 goals from 8 shots. Look, that it can't be much more dominant than that.
No, you can't. The players are already up, bar one, Pukas. He's told us he wants to warm up his hands, so 2 secs. If this is him and his hands aren't more Nova, I'm scared to see what his final form will be like once those hands are warmed up.
Yeah, Bella's just changing the gaming chair real quick, getting out the good one. Because my God, he's been very impressive today. Him and Yokozuna both. And maybe, just maybe, they can make a run once they are in the grand finals. Well, if they are in grand finals, speaking a bit too soon. Yem and Keane, look, if they play the way they did in the first half of the game, there's absolutely the opportunity for them to come away with a bit of an upset, but reverse sweep at this stage, especially against players at Pukas' and Yokozula's level. It is very, very tough to produce such a result. As we get underway in game number 3, Pukas and Yokozula, the elite most hated, trying to secure a sweep. Meanwhile, Dog with a Log trying to get upset of the year so far, if they can manage to get a reverse sweep from here.
No, don't even wish it into existence, Nova. I'm tired already. Oh, the fake coming out! Oh, he had to play the shot though, Nova. He just had to.
Absolutely had to, but Pukas, that man has a family. You've absolutely just sent him to completely different fields, mate. You've sent him back to game 1 already. And that's incredible from Pukas. Again, this is just what they do. The ice to go like, yeah, I can fake this one just fine. It's not going to result in anything bad. And immediately trying to make it 2. Yokozuna taking them both out. Take a bow, mate. Because I'm actually lost for words. That's just incredible. He's taken the 2 of them out with the 1 jump.
It's like I don't even know what to say anymore, though. But this is it's just a joy to watch Yokozuna and Pukas, and the fact that these guys got, I'm not going to say beat handily enough because there was some close games and they did take a game off Thompson and Shark, but it's just showing at the upper echelons of Irish Rocket League just how much of a difference there can be in this game. Just there's levels to this game. As a 3rd goal, I was too busy rambling on.
Yeah, I know it worked perfectly. There are levels to this. When Yukazilla and Pukas get going, they are a different echelon. And like you said, Pukas, he's warmed up his hands now, mate. He's completely ready for this. 4-0, and it's only 50 seconds gone, not even. Look, we're talking about maybe, just maybe, the chance for an upset. But I think this one might already be well and truly over with Dave.
Well and truly over. I think that might just be right. But again, it's 2v2. It's only 4 goals. There's 4 minutes left. Right. I don't see any reason why they can't come and bring this game back. If they do, it would have to be, I think, the second best. At this point, if they manage to come back and win this game, reverse sweep the series, it'll be the second best reverse sweep ever in RLA's history.
Oh, were you in the other one, Dave?
No, okay, Nova. Every good accomplishment I name is not everything to do with me, okay? Only most of the time. It would have to be a best of 9 reverse sweep in RLAS. That one you have to give that one a small no.
A reverse sweep best of 9. Was it your org by any chance?
No, it wasn't. This was the Saints and I think Ryan. I can't remember. I think it was Ryan and Decomp reverse sweeping, or they got. I think Epic's got reverse swept against Ryan and Decomp or something like that. I don't know.
Okay, no, big piece of RLI history there. Regardless, I don't think the big one's gonna be made today. However, Dave, with Yuxula making it 5. If it wasn't well and truly over with beforehand, you might want to say it's now Yem already putting out the GGs. They've already left. They've just accepted that is that. And wow, they have. That's just pure domination, really, forcing your teammates out within 2 minutes. But look, congratulations to Elite Most Hated. What a performance from them to get a sweep of that dominance. Sure, game 2 was close, but even then, they always looked the better team. And look, now we just have to prepare for their final, Dave. So the question is, can they get revenge here?
You know what? Can they get revenge? I'm thinking they could, but we'll have to see. You know what? After that series, Nova, I do think Kian and Yem, they could do a bit of coaching. They could do a bit of coaching, though. They weren't after that one, Nova. And everyone, obviously, if you haven't noticed the name of this tournament by now, the LTXAcademy 2v2. Obviously, hats off, big thanks again to Sam, and the LTXAcademy, where you might be able to get above a C tier on Nova's tier list as well. Nova, are you that hard of a critic?
Sure, if you get this coaching, maybe even reach B tier if you're lucky. But sure, Dave, you're the one that's been doing the tier lists recently, so you're the one to judge for now. But look, maybe even you can get up to Shark and Thompson's level. Maybe if you just put the work in. But for now, until you get that coaching, you're going to have to watch this final from the sidelines.
Yeah, and we're going to go to a small bit of a quick break there, Nova, so that we can, before this upper final, just so we can, in time, get the new players in the lobby, get everything set up, and see, does Elite Most Hated have what it takes to get their revenge, or will Godalians prove too much of a trap?
Welcome back, everyone. We are finally in our grand finals where we see a nice little rematch of best of 7 between Gedalians and Elite Most Hated Shark and Tomster versus none other than Pukas and Yuxula. I am known as Nova and I'm joined by none other than Pudding. And Pudding, we haven't even completed our intro. It's already 1-0.
Off to a quick start, but no, I'm getting a bit of deja vu, a bit of Groundhog Day sort of feeling off of this, because obviously I casted the exact same series pretty much an hour and a half ago, so yeah, it's feels like I'm just casting the same thing again, but we'll have to see if it goes the way the last series did. As I don't know if you saw, but in the series before, Elise Was Hit It came out and won the first game 6-1 and made Tommy Shark forfeit. And then the next game was 7-0 to Gedalians and forced Elise Was Hit It to forfeit. So I think we'll see a bit more of a calm series this time, but with a quick start from Gedalians, maybe not.
That's the hope anyways, but we'll see how it goes right here. Yeah, look, a quick reminder, obviously a game advantage given to Shark and Tomster for Gedalians, but Yuxula very well to equalize, and like you said, Pudding, already looks like maybe we're gonna have a more controlled game after Tom slightly misreads that backward.
Yep, starting out a bit closer this time, although I will say that goal right there is identical to a goal that Tom conceded on himself in game 1 of the last series, so far it's pretty much the same thing, but yeah, I think both teams will definitely have a bit more of a feel for each other. To be honest, in the last series it just seemed like Elite's Most Hated really just couldn't keep Gedalians out, and a little bit. Oh my god, what a side read from Shark! That would have been insane if that went in. But as I was saying, really just have to see if Elite's Most Hated can just get the defense together. I think that was really their worst enemy in the last series. So maybe after a couple more series, they'll be a little bit better with that. But time will tell.
Yeah, that's going to be the hope for them, obviously. Look, defense is difference maker in these series sometimes, and just being able to hold on, especially at this level when you have Tomster and Shark just doing pre-jump plays like that. That one, even though it wasn't the highest quality, still almost ending up in the Elite's Most Hated net, but not quite finding that. Now Yuxula, great opportunity for him actually. If he gets a reset, does so nicely, but Shark getting back to it quickly. Very desperate to win this one so he can buy a new Mustang from the item shop. But unfortunately, he is just being held back a bit right now by the opposition. And that one on target again. Look, like we said earlier, much closer Pudding, but if you had to take a guess, who's going... Oh, I was going to ask you who's going to be the next player to score a goal. Sharks just answered my question with an absolutely insane corner read.
Yeah, just off of the bit of a double commit from Elise Most Hated, I was kind of asked why Shark is heading out into the corner, but got the answer straight away because he can score those and put his team into the lead now. Just had to flex on Elise Most Hated a little bit, but it's going to be a tie game pretty much instantly. It just seems like whenever one team gains a bit of a foothold in the match, that the opposition just gets it right back, and Pukas is able to do so. 2-2 with exactly half of the game gone.
Yeah, that's a very good bump. Very good play coming out there in general. And they're going to have to rely on those plays. Elite Most Hated, the bump plays, it's what takes your opposition out. And even just taking Shark and Tomster out of the game for half a second can sometimes be enough to get a goal. See, those kind of demos opening it up just a bit. The shot is right at Shark. And now he comes, Puka's had to go for boost. He doesn't even get the touch on it. He's playing the follow-up touch from Shark. But unfortunately for him, Shark doesn't even get the second touch himself. And now, Gedalians re-establishing their lead.
Just an unfortunate situation for Pukas. I mean, I think in that situation, you sort of just got to expect Shark to have that little bit of boost left to get to that and get the touch over you. And unfortunately for Pukas, he did not have the boost in the tank, and it just rolled into his net. He can only sit there and watch. But now they'll be looking to start a little bit of a counter-attack here. Pukas is able to get it over Tom, and that's an excellent flick. just realizing Tom may be a little bit out of position, and just with an excellent, like, 45-degree flick just perfectly over the top of him, and Shark, just on the way back, isn't able to get there on time, and such a back and forth game, I can't really tell who's got the advantage here at all.
Yeah, it's just switching back and forth. Like I said, neither team willing to let the other one get a step ahead. Shark now forced to make that save. Puka's forced back into his own corner. Last time he was forced back into his own corner, his team conceded. Will there be one this time going in for Gedalians? Not quite. That touch just a bit too high for Tom to get to after Shark, you know, maybe not weighting it the way he would have liked to. And Pukas, last time he's in this position, he scored himself. Tom does well to make the cut, get the save, but they're still in panic mode on defense. As Pukas goes for a double instead, maybe he should have just tried to blast that on. I don't think Shark was ready for the shot. And look, it might be those small differences that make up the difference right now. A minute and 10 left. Can Yuxula get the goal here? Looking for the dunk, but very good from Shark. Still a tight game as we enter this last minute.
Gonna say that was looking dangerous for a second, and it still is. Pukas able to track back and get the save. This could be a counter-attack for Elise Most Hated, but Shark, just so fast, was able to cut out the counter-attack almost instantly. Trying to pop it up for Tomster, who's not quite there. Yuxula forced to make an awkward dive, but he does excellently. Almost beats Shark with that small touch over. Anyone's game to play. Anyone's game to play for here with 40 seconds left on the clock. Tomster doesn't quite get the wave dash he was looking, but Pukas just on so little boost. He's just going to be forced to sort of give the ball away to Shark. He's going to have all the time to go up the wall, and this is not what you want to see if you're Elite Most Hated, but Pukas is able to cut it out. 20 seconds left. Do you think we have an overtime on our hands, Nova?
It's starting to shape up like it. Both teams tit for tat, giving it everything they've got right now. But still, one team can just take it all right now. Tomster luckily sitting back to make sure that one just did not turn into any opportunity. And that one just dies. Maybe Pukas could have played it. Him and Yuxula both had all the boost in the world. But in the end, we do see a game 1 overtime. Obviously, yet again, mentioning Gedalians, they are 1-0 up in the series because they came through the upper bracket. And now they're 2-0 up in the series. Shark just slamming that one in. Yuxula getting completely read by him. Pukas can't quite get enough on it. And that is just what Gedalians would have been looking for to put themselves 2-0 up the series.
Yeah, just an ambitious and unreal play by Shark. I mean, I don't want to seem harsh, but Yuxula's got to do better there. He saw him on his screen and tried to pop it over to him, but Shark was just there, and he finishes at over 1,000 points. The Watcher with only 240 points. Only joking, Tomster, don't kill me. But yeah, I mean, just a completely dominant performance by Gedalian. Shark putting up some crazy numbers, and I mean that's certainly the game 1 that Gedalians will be looking to get. But obviously, they have the game advantage after coming off of the upper bracket, so just 2 more games for Gedalians to take the series, while Elite Most Hated need the usual 4.
Yeah, and that was such a good opportunity to try to turn it around, and obviously it hasn't come out for them in the end. So we'll see if they can manage to get it here, but turning around a 2-game deficit is a huge uphill battle against a team like this. Unless Shark's Wi-Fi starts lagging again, we could just be in for more of the same. That said, if there's anything to say, so that's a great bump from the 2 lads, but Pukas and Yuxula, we know they're able to just fight for it. They're able to push on and on and on, but right now, not going their way whatsoever. Shark getting a good 50 with Pukas. Yuxula just driving back and forth, and Tom knows that's a free shot for him. 1-0 already.
A quick start again for Gedalians. I mean, we saw that in the last game, but we have seen that Elite Most Hated do like these kickoff strats from the previous series. However, it doesn't pay off on this occasion. Pukas, I will say, Nova, in the series that they played before, Pukas was a menace with the demos. He was torturing the backline of Gedalians. We need to see a bit more of that, I think, if they want to really get something going against Gedalians, but Shark gets the redirect. He's on fire right now. He sees the play happening, and Tom places it perfectly onto the top of the Mustang, and that's just perfect shot from Shark, and a quick 2-0 lead sees Gadalians ahead in this game.
Yeah, it's a great transition there from Gadalians. But it does have to be mentioned that Elite Mosaic, they did send everything and the kitchen sink, and it didn't quite work out for them there. So they'll have to try and turn it around. But right now it's looking like a bigger and bigger battle. Tomster trying to bring it downfield. Not really leading to anything, but they don't need it to lead to anything right now, Pudding. You know, I think they'll be quite content with this 2-goal lead, 2-game lead in the series, looking to make it 3.
Yes, certainly. We've seen a lot of creativity coming out of Elite's Most Hated, but they just can't seem to get the finishing touches some of these times. They have a lot of mechanics, the two of them, but as do Shark and Tomster, they can read the play very well, and I think the smarter of the two teams so far just has been Gadalians, able to get the reads off onto Elite's Most Hated. Pukas. Zareth a good clear away, and he almost gets the read off of Tomster's awkwardness, however. Tom doing just enough there to keep him out. Tom, the good old reliable on defense as always, as he lets Shark go forward, and Shark, he's just on fire right now. When he's playing like this, it's just so hard to stop him. The mechs are coming out, the resets are going well, doubles are going in, and it's 3-0 to Gadalians.
How do you even play against that? I don't think there is a way you can play against this if you're a lad in the server. There's nothing you can do. He's a level above everyone else when he's playing well, and he's just showing it once more here. 3 goals to the good. We're not even halfway through the game, and I think you could already say, yeah, maybe this one is just GG's go next. I know you can overcome 3-goal deficits, but not when you're playing against Shark like this. That said, he has missed 2 balls within the last 20 seconds or so. But you can only sit back, relax, enjoy the show when you're playing against them, because there's not much more you can ever really do, Pudding.
Yeah, certainly, as he tried to do it again there, and it unfortunately leads to a counter-attack where Pukas is able to force Tom into an awkward spot, and Yuxul is there so fast just to get the finish now. Could be seeing a little bit of life coming back into the game from Elite's Most Hated. However, can Gadalians shut them out? Can they prevent the comeback from happening? Time will tell as Pukas trying to make something happen off the wall there. Gets the musty, but bumped off the ball by Tom. This is why Tom and Shark are such a good duo. Tom is just so good at disrupting the attacks and defending the mechanics, and Shark obviously just so clinical going forward. That really is just a perfect match for each other. And it's no wonder that they team together so often for these tournaments, as they might be adding another tournament to their resume. Shark going for the musty, but still reads that. Giving Pukas a bit of time to shoot the ball. He's quite awkward though. I'd be surprised if he can get that on target, and he doesn't. Yoxila recognizes there. Once again though, Tom just reading the play despite the awkwardness, and Pukas is now forced into an awkward spot. Yoxila is forced to cut him. This is looking like a free play for Gadalians, but Tom and Shark are a bit tied up on each other now. They're looking a bit awkward. Can Elite's Most Hated make a play off as Pukas almost gets the redirect? But the danger's clear for now, and Gadalians are attacking again.
Yeah, it's look, a great opportunity for them, and they do take it. That's the difference between these two teams. You offer a great opportunity to Gadalians, they take it every single time. Pukas and Yuxula just both can't quite reach it. Shark sees the gap in the defense, plays it perfectly. And again, that's just what Gadalians do. It's their game. That you make one small mistake, you've conceded. And look, they're not going to even be content with 4-1. They're going to want to make a 5-1, 6-1, 7-1, whatever they can do to embarrass the opponents. Thompson's shot maybe a bit lacking there. But it doesn't matter. Shark's going to get 100 boost. He's going to try and go for some solo dribble off his backboard. Gets the musty. He just sees this as ones, his own playground. The second musty after the flip reset. Is it saved away? Sure. But strange, like 10 seconds off the clock. And that's going to be the big difference maker here, as they look to just probably drown out their opposition for these last 45 seconds. And add a 5th. Because why not?
Say we're going on to match point here. That's just completely dominant performance by Gadalians, I think. I mean, they're bringing out the mechs, but I'd say they're really just keeping it simple. They're just they're not overcomplicating things, and they're getting rewarded for just being clinical when their chances present themselves, as it's gonna be 6-1 here. Oh, never mind, Tom just wasn't having it, I guess. Oh dear. That's one to forget about, but luckily not gonna affect much, as looks like Elite's Most Hated are just giving up in this one, and they're going for the reverse sweep.
Yeah, that's their only option at this point. You know, I thought Tom had actually intentionally missed it, with the idea being that, oh yeah, we just want to drain out the time early. Scoring a goal only makes us have to wait another 10 seconds watching replays and all that. But no, in the end, we've just instead had to witness a bit more brutality, and the players deciding to GG's go next. They were already forced once in their last series versus Gadalians, I was told. And they also forced not only Gadalians, but also when they were playing Keen and Yem earlier, they equally forced one there against Dogwheel Log. But look, the question is now, can they actually do a reverse sweep? Because it's always nice to say, oh yeah, any team can do it on paper. But against Tom, against Shark, it's never that easy, is it?
And against Prime Shark, as he's now calling himself, I'd say he's certainly been showing his form in this series. Now, just one game separates Cadalians and winning this series and getting that prize that is, of course, provided to us by LTXAcademy. So we just want to make sure to shout them out again, but we'll have to see. Still got plenty of time left in the series for a comeback, but what do you think really needs to happen here for Elite's Most Hated to come back, Nova? I mean, it just seems so difficult.
Look, if there's one mistake they've been making a lot this series, it's that they're doubling up on things that they just do not need to. And I know that it's so easy to say that while I'm sitting here, just casting the series. But when you're playing against Thompson and Shark, they make you have to double up. They make it so confusing for you. So you have you don't have the time to communicate. You just have to go for it. But that said, if they can even reduce it, these games could be a bit closer. Maybe they would have won that game one with less double commits, with less, sending the kitchen sink on the play. And they come close. Very good save by Shark. But now they're forcing their opponents to have low boost. And you know what? There's one other thing. They did it very well in our first game, and I didn't see much of it last game. Getting the bumps and demos. The game one, they get bumps, they get demos, and it's what really opened the defense. But this game, I just have not seen enough of it from them. And look, pressure pays off. I suppose there's a lot to it, Pudding.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, it is the demo plays and the bump plays that are doing it for them. It's just awkward because we're not really seeing sort of like the team play between Yuxila and Pugas that we're seeing between Tom and Shark, like the passes and sort of the reliance on each other than the bump plays. But that being said, the kickoff goal comes through, and always seems to be a case, doesn't it, Nova, where a team gets on the match point and they get a little bit complacent, but still 3 minutes and 20 seconds left, and I'll have to see if Tom and Shark can pull one back here. I'll have to see if Elite's Most Hated can. I think they might need a third or potentially a fourth to seal off a game like this, but they're certainly capable of it. But can they hold their nerve?
That is the question we do have to be asking, but right now they do seem to be doing well for themselves. That said, it can so easily just be flipped on a dime. In that game one, if I'm not mistaken, they were in the lead for a short bit, but now a 2-goal lead, much more comfy. Will it switch to a 1-goal lead? No, Pukas getting back to it. Very fancy as well, not even using his flip. And I don't know what it is about this game specifically, but it feels a lot more open to me. Very end-to-end, both teams having opportunities. Maybe Thompson made a mistake there by not continuing on with the bump. But all the same, both teams really allowing the opposition to just come at them whenever they have possession.
Yeah, certainly, although Gadalians they're getting their chances in this game, just haven't been clinical so far, as you saw. And you mentioned Tomster getting the bump on the goal line, but pretty lackluster shot from Shark. Saw it saved by Pukas as it was straight at him, and Shark just going under Pukas here, and he forces it through Yuxila. He's sending them to the shops. And Godalians are back in this game with 2 minutes left. I mean, Shark, he just sort of getting the read on Elite's Most Hated. He just expecting them to predict him to go up with that, and obviously just keeps it low and pile drives it into the net. And gonna have to see if we can get a response here from Elite's Most Hated pretty soon. You don't want Shark and Tom getting the momentum, or this series could be wrapped up quickly, as it might be with a shot from Shark, but he hits the bar. I think him changing his name to Prime Shark has maybe hindered him a little bit, but I think Prime Gambler, whatever it was before, was definitely putting on a show. But Tom's going for the flick into the top corner here. Yoxula, he has the mechanics. Is he able to get another reset? He does, but just no boost in the tank. It seems to be a pretty common theme amongst the orange side here.
It's what they are continuing to do. Meanwhile, the blue side just wants to pester that orange defense more and more, but Godalians have not found a way through consistently this game. The only time they have is Shark with that relentless little dribble he took, just sticking to the ground, getting to a 50. But will we see one now? Shark gets a flip reset, and that's the double commits we were talking about earlier. They need to stop doing them. Pukas and Yoxula both on low boost. Meanwhile, Shark, his playground, this is where he loves to be. Pukas pulling off a save, but the pressure's still on up until they get boom away now. Shark gonna have to take it to the corner, trying to go for a mini psycho. Oh, Jesus Christ, the pressure on that. Something else to get that much power. But all the same, it's still a battle in this midfield. And with 38 seconds remaining, they're going to have to think of something quickly now. Oh, and this might just be it. Unfortunate for Elite's Most Hated. But Godalians, they do what they do. Shark gets a demo and a bump. And look, we could be destined for another overtime pudding.
Yeah, Yoxila got assassinated out of the air. And I don't know, man, this Cosmic Retro Gambler Comet 123 guy's pretty good. I think we might have to look into him a little bit more. Got some potential. Yeah, I mean, Godalians are just going to get another one here. It's all falling apart for Elite's Most Hated. They are hating Shark right now. Just another goal for him. He's really just taking over. 14 shots away of Godalians to just the 4 from Elite's Most Hated. They are dominating, but the scoreline is still close, so we could yet see an overtime if this can go the way Pukas is going for that demo that he's been going for all series long, and he gets it when it matters the most to keep his team in the series. You just saw it. The second that ball came off the wall, I was like, he's going for that bump, and he absolutely clatters Sharks. Gets a little bit of revenge from the goal earlier. And 20 seconds left. Do we have another goal in us, Nova?
That is the question we're going to be asking. Tom getting the boost. Pukas, he didn't even go for a corner boost there for that kickoff. Both of them are on 0 boost. Tom, is he going to leave it for Shark? No, he gets to pop up into the air. Pukas does well to control it. Gets a second beat. What does he have here? Shark does recover and gets the corner boost. That's very well from him. One last opportunity. Tom getting the save. Yoxula trying to stay behind it, but Shark... Oh no. Is that just in? Oh, it's just in. How is that gone? No way, Pukas. Shark just thinks, yeah, I'll have a go. Pukas reading him perfectly, and it's just ended up in Godalian's net. Maybe this is the momentum they need. Can we see the reverse sweep coming out? Because, look, they've stolen that one from the depth.
They have indeed. I mean, I thought Godalians had it in the bag, but like I said, with 20 seconds left, there is potentially another goal in us, and we got it on 0 seconds. And yeah, I mean, it works. Pukas, obviously, I mean, that challenge at the end was just perfect. He was under complete threat of getting scored on, and he turned it into a goal for his own team. So fair play to him. He gets his team back in the series, but it's still a long road ahead, a big mountain to climb, and it feels like an insurmountable one. But we've seen crazier things happen in Rocket League, so can we see it from Elite's Most Hated? How are you feeling about their chances going forward here?
If they can continue to do what they do best, which is playing that disruptor play the demos, play the bumps, then I think they have what it takes. It can be a bit tough because it's an all-in kind of play style. If you're going for the bumps, you're going for the demos, you're committing 2 men to the play, and then twos, it can be very risky though to go for those kind of stuff. But in the end, they were able to weather a storm, even when, Shark had 100 boosts, Tomster had 100 boosts, and they're on 10-20. They were getting the saves. They're coming away with good 50s. And look, I think they have at least another game in them.
Only time will tell, and looks like the players are ready to go here in game number 5. I believe this is. Sometimes I have to second guess myself because of the game advantage, but I think it is game 5. With a 3-1 lead for Gadalians. Gonna need to see them come out the gates here. Obviously, like I said, they were dominating the last game with like 15 shots, but only 3 goals. The clinical ability that they have might be back. The Shark, with Tom chasing the demo, is able to able to double touch it in, and a really sort of bump heavy, aggressive sort of series we're having. I mean, they're chasing each other quite a lot, and we're seeing a lot of goals coming off these bumps. It seems to be the precedent that's been set by both teams, as Pukas trying to bring out the max here, but Tom again and just reading the play. Just seems like the goals that Elite Most Hated need to get are scrappy ones. They're not getting too much off the mechanics at the moment.
Yeah, and that's the unfortunate side of it. The first 30 seconds hasn't been much for Elite Most Hated. That said, Gadalians, they've only had the one good opportunity and they have taken it well. Definitely a battle in the midfield right now. Both teams are trying to establish a bit of boost dominance, and another good bump from Tomster. Is he there to follow up? No, Yuxula instead given an opportunity. 50s, it's off the post. Who's there next? Pukas trying to 51, trying to 52. 0 boost on the goal line, but it's enough to keep Gadalians in the lead for now. Now Yuxula trying to take from his own corner. Pukas taking out Tomster. He's looking for Shark next. Does he get him? Not quite, but Yuxula anyways. Styling on Gadalians. Was anyone up? Absolutely not. But does that matter? Not a bit. Reads the opposition perfectly. And we have a tied game once again.
I spoke about the demos and the aggressive players getting the goals and the mechanics not doing much, but we saw both of them coming into play there as we're back to a tied game, but a bit of an awkward turn by Pukas there. I was a bit scared for a second for Elite's Most Hated as Pukas is able to take the ball up. Angle's looking a bit awkward for him though, he's going to have to concede the ball to Shark. As Yuxula looking to take it up the wall again. Can he make something happen? Decides to go down this time. Pukas again though, just disrupting so much at the moment. And Yuxula just doesn't have the boost to tap it around Shark like he was intended to, and now Pukas forced to challenge early, which he does. But I think Pukas certainly stepping up here as Yuxula almost slots into the bottom corner, but I think Tom might have had it covered if it managed to creep in, but such a tight series now, it seems a lot closer than it was, Nova.
Absolutely, both teams really feel like they have something going for them in this game. It's not like that game 3 where it was just pure and utter dominance from Gadalians. No, this game, Elite's Most Hated, they're really bringing the game to their opposition. And that said, they need to stop giving the ball away, and Yuxula maybe could have scored that one. I don't think he was expecting the opening that came before him. So, look, they're going to have to settle it, still being 1-1. Though that one might just drop in, not quite off the back, but Tomster, that's such a poor clearance. He needs to be doing better with that. Puka saying thank you very much. And, look, they have another lead for themselves.
Yeah, I think Tomster took a leaf out of your book there with that clearance. I mean, just purr. Just so purr. But he's not able to get a proper clearance on that, and Elite's Most Hated will certainly not be complaining as they're able to take a lead, which they haven't been able to get for... which they haven't been able to hold for quite a while now. I mean, it seems like every time they do get a goal, the Gadalians are just coming straight back at them, but with 2 minutes left, I think weathering the storm is not going to be enough. They're going to have to try and get another goal here as the ball just doesn't bounce, fortunately, for Gadalians. Affording Yuxula a lot of space and time, but he just doesn't have the boost. Forced to try and play a 50, which might give Pukas the opportunity to get a shot off, but not quite able to. Defense is going to be scrambling back as Tom's attacking, and he has a lot of boost to work with here. Able to get it over Yuxula, but Pukas cuts it out. All to play for here with 1 minute and 45 seconds left. It's Pukas. Look at him go, he's just being such a menace, but I think we need to see another goal out of Elite's Most Hated here, or else I fear Gadalians might be able to get one.
Absolutely. They're capable of just pulling something out of the hat. Sometimes Gedalians, Yuxula having to make an amazing save. It's very strong defense from the lads. It does have to be said. If you want to have defense as good as these lads, LTXAcademy coaching, the place to start. Puka's just saving his teammates again. And it's trust as well. That's just something entirely different. But if you want to improve, Sam is the man. Yuxula trying to place that one into the box. Tomster having none of it. Wants to start a counter-attack. Shark now. He always looks for a resell on those angles, but I don't think that one was really the position he would have liked. Another demo coming out now. Can Pukas get the bump on Shark? No, he can't. That puts him in a bit of an awkward position, but even then, he's already back for it. And launching it downfield once more. Is that one just going to be in? No, it's off the post. So unfortunate. This game, I think, has just been all the post bounces. Both teams have had 2 or 3 shots going just off the post and bounce right back out for them. Shows that this game is just, there's a macro and then there's micro, there's the tiniest things. But 20 seconds left. Elite's Most Hated won't be complaining if they win this one.
Those post heads could be the difference between winning and losing the game. Is Shark is so breezy, or the Musty can't even tell what's what anymore. I'm not able to do them, so God knows. But Yoxila goes up with the flick. I think almost conceding the ball to Shark here, which is not what you want to do. He doesn't have the angle. Tom is obviously going to try and keep that up. It's just so awkward. I think the ball should touch the ground, but no one wants to let it go. As Shark is able to get the double, but he misses. And Elite's Most Hated take another game. The reverse sweep is potentially on. Just 2 more games, and they could pull off one of the best comebacks in RLI, but like I said in the previous game, it's still a while to go yet. Still 10 minutes minimum of gameplay, but certainly I think a lot better performance by at least Most Hated, and their defense is holding up so much better than the previous games.
I think what helps them as well, unlike last game where they're being completely outshot, this game they did come away with more shots, 3 more to be precise. So it's not like they're afraid to put up the pressure. They're not backing down and hoping to do a hit and run, a smash and grab even. They're trying to play their opponents. They're going for it. And that's just what they need to do. Because I think for the first game, last game, they looked the better team. But they need to keep it up. You can score 20 against your opponents in one game. It doesn't matter if you lose the series. And they have 2 more to go for now. So, look, do you think they can pull it off, Pudding?
It's certainly possible. I mean, I think the defense holding up that bit stronger is really what made the difference there. Like, as we're able to see, that they're able to get the goals. We're certainly able to see that out of Elite's Most Hated there. They got the creativity, they got the demos, the bumps, and all of those sorts. But it's just when the defense seems to falter is when they're struggling. But as long as it holds strong, I think they have a very good chance of pulling this off. As Shark, as we were seeing quite a lot out of him in the first couple of games, but been a little bit more quiet. I have to see if he can regain that momentum that we saw out of him in the previous games.
Yeah, that's the hope, to say the least. For his team, anyways, Gedalians, they're going to want to try and see just a bit more magic. You know, he can always pull it out of a hat just like that, getting into the backboard with Yuxula again. It's just such great defense from Elite's Most Hated. They're able to just absorb everything and then start a bit of a counter-attack. I feel it's starting to frustrate Gedalians maybe just a small bit, as everything they throw, it's just not sticking to the wall. As Pukas now trying to take it downfield, gets a demo. Who's up next? Tomster is in position to take it up and just boom away. Yuxula going to catch it. And what can he pull out of the bag now? Gets the flick. Trying to go quick with it this time. Shark's having none of it. He gets to beat him. Another. Is that just in? Or can Yuxula get back? No, he cannot. And Gedalians, look, they took the lead last game. This time they have to hold on.
Yeah, I think, I'm not sure what Pukas is expecting. He just, I don't know, he's just a bit too slow. He just doesn't jump to meet Shark there, and Shark's able to get it over him. And that's the start the Gedalians will be looking for. They don't want to be down in this series. They want to be the ones putting the pressure on, as once again, it just doesn't last very long. It seems like every time Gedalians gain a foothold in the game. They're getting scored on off a kickoff or off a bump. I'm gonna say it time and time and again, man. Pukas is such a menace. Like, seems like he's constantly on the blue cards, of bumping them or providing weird 50s or just making things awkward, and it's just working time and time again.
Yeah, and that look, I think you do also have to say a bit. Shark, I was a bit confused what he's doing, coming off the post, not getting what he would have wanted. That one just spamming off the crossbar, not once but twice. Can Shark make up for here? 1 reset, 2 reset, 3 reset. You just have to start counting them on your fingers anytime he's on the ball. Getting the demo as well, just to secure the goal for Tomster. And look, they've taken the lead once more. Last game, they didn't respond as well to conceding, but this time, look, I think Shark's had enough. I think he just wants to end this here and now. Meanwhile, Tomster happy to oblige by scoring the open net.
Certainly, although the bump was required there, I think, as the defender probably would have got back if Shark hadn't taken him out. But giving Elite's Most Hated a taste of their own medicine is here goes Pukas again. He gets the demo, leaving Yuck in the 1v1, and Shark just makes it back off the spawn. Just on time to prevent Elite's Most Hated from tying up the game once again, as Pukas is going up. He's got boost, he's got a reset, he goes for another one, but Shark is able to get that tiny bump that really just sets him off. And Tom is able to try and pass it over to Shark. That's what we're seeing, the passes and the creativity coming out of Gedalians. They're able to string them together and get the plays going. Pukas again is just hunting for heads. But unfortunately on that occasion is not quite able to get it, as Shark may be doing the work for Elite's Most Hated there. Pukas in a 1v1 here against Shark. Is he able to get it? Oh my god, I thought he just about got it, but Shark saving his flip for the perfect moment. I'm talking too much, Nova, so I'm going to let you take over for a second.
No, absolutely, it's fine. Do not worry. I was convinced that one was going in as well. But Shark absolutely reading his opposition like a book. Really impressive from him, though. I think we're impressed anytime we really see him on the ball. Thompson now wants to try and impress himself. Spinning around, getting the reset. Can he take over Yuxula? Not quite. Oh, but that wouldn't put into a dangerous position. Unfortunate for him to not actually be able to get this read. Yuxula now off the ceiling, catches it perfectly. Can he get the 50? Not quite, but it is out to Pukas, slamming on target. Double commit again, but it doesn't matter. Shark's got the clearance. That's it. Tomster 0, but it's a poor touch from Yuxula. It's going to give enough time for Shark to get back into this one. That's a great save. Tomster, can he beat Yuxula? Not quite, but he's going to get the corner boost. No, he's not. Shark gets it instead. And he find the angle, not quite, and gets taken out for his troubles. Pukas now trying to beat Tomster, just forcing a little poor touch from him so Yuxula can control the ball, but doesn't even work out for him. And we're a minute to go. Gedalians are not letting up. 6 saves for Shark, 820 points. 8 is a game for the ages right now, but 50 seconds to separate a win for him or a game 7, Captain Pudding.
Yeah, I mean, this has certainly been one of the all-time defensive performances from Shark. There's been so many good saves, so many clutch saves, just when Yuxula and Pukas look like they're about to get it, but once again, able to just avoid the bump from Pukas and get the ball out. That's his 7th save. Just absolutely on point with his defense in this game, and no harm to Tom, but he's been saved by Shark on multiple occasions, and only 15 seconds left. There's only going to be maybe one more attack, 2 if we're lucky, from Elite's Most Hated, as Yuxula trying to get the 50. He gets the boost, but the 50's not kind. Shark is going to be able to clear the ball. Yuck needs to get something off of this, but the touch just isn't good enough. Pukas, though, is able to take it down. He has that bit of boost. He's looking for a flick. Hits it, but Shark again makes the save. Yuxula has boost. He's looking to keep it up, looking for that sidewall read. Pukas doesn't have anything in the tank, and the ball's gonna go down. Gedalians are the champions of the July 2v2 tournament, sponsored by LTXAcademy, and I mean, what a performance from Shark in that game. I mean, that was unbelievable. That was looking like a reverse sweep if I'd ever seen one from the way Elite Most Hated were playing, but just clawing the ball out of the net again and again, and brings home the win for Gedalians.
Absolutely. Look, credit given where credit's due. Very, very good performance from Elite's Most Hated themselves. They gave their everything there, but just came short to a sensational performance from Shark, as well as Tomster, also played very, very strongly. The lads deserve it all. As I'm witnessing the Twitch chat or the Twitch right now. Dave just playing in free play. Just what we want to see.
Gotta shut
But
that
all
off.
the same, very.
We shut that off. We don't want to see
Now,
zero mess.
now he's transitioned again. Don't worry. But all the same, great from Tomster. Great from Shark. Congratulations to the two of them and Gadalians. And well done as well to Elite's most hated, Pukas and Yokozuna. They gave them a very good game, not once but twice. And look, here's none of the teams are going to be on LAN. Pukas will be there playing with Magic, so best of luck to him. But any closing thoughts before we head? Pudding.
Yeah, I mean, fair play to Yoxzilla and Pukas. I mean, they really took it to Shark and Tom, who were, I'd say, the clear favorites going in, but didn't make it look that way for the majority of the series, and really looked like they had the potential to reverse sweep that after a really bad start to the series. So, no, definitely congrats to them on their finish, and I can't wait to see them hopefully playing in future tournaments together, as they've definitely got that synergy. But no, I'll leave it to you to wrap up. But well, I mean, what a series!
Very good series. Very good way to end the day. It's always nice to have a close one. But yeah, thank you for everyone who's been competed today for starters, folks. It's been very nice tournament. 15 teams on a Sunday.